It takes every kind of people to make this world go round. All right, I'm gonna quit messing around here. Good morning. Hey, she's back. She's late. I went for a walk this morning in the cemetery. Boy, did that do my mind, body, and spirit a world of good. Although, ooh, it was icy over there. Boy, we really had to watch our step going along. Girls are nice and cozy and tired now. You want to come say hi? Come on. There she is. I feel like I blew the stink off me. The weather is kind of difficult and inconsistent, you know, this time of year. I have to wait a little later in the morning, you know, because it's too cold right away. And, you know, work it through and around my schedule, you know. But yeah, my crows were there. I posted some pictures. They were happy to see me. I had 2 pockets full of peanuts for them. So, yeah, I feel better. Last week, I know it was kind of a bummer. Anxiety was really high last week, and I was sensing the heaviness and the undercurrent of all these circumstances. And I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, hey, I thought 2021 was supposed to be better. You know, when Saturn moved into Aquarius, well, nothing goes like that. You know, I've explained that Saturn in Aquarius, that's to level the playing field. And so the scary stuff we're seeing is a part of that, but it's also opening eyes, you know? And we're still in self-discovery mode here with what we're observing. And so I promise you that this is a turning point. You know, Saturn went into Aquarius on December 17th last year. And this is a turning point, even though it appears to be a boiling point, all right? That's what it appears, you know. I know it seems scary. But why I brought up my topic today is every kind of people. I don't know if you recognize my dance tune this morning, you know, Robert Palmer. Okay. We're not all going to be the same, and we're not all going to have the same mindset and ideas and views about things. And isn't that a blessing? I mean, isn't it? We have 4 elements when people are born in under their sign. There's fire, there's water, there's earth, and there's air. Now, nobody's a straight Gemini or a straight Sagittarius or a straight Capricorn. Nobody can fit into those you know, little boxes that we check because we have a rising sign and our moon and where the planets were and our entrance into this world and what our journey was and what our purpose was. That we pretty much spent all of our life trying to figure out, okay, where am I going now? What's the purpose of this? Why did this happen? Kind of like this past week. I'm not going to ignore the elephant in the room, what went down this week. But I'm getting there, all right? So, but we have people that are, you know, run hot and passionate and, you know, have a, you know, protective mode about them. And then we have people like water sign people are artistic and creative and thought-provoking and gentle and kind. And then we have our earth sign people that are, you know, basically self-explanatory, salt of the earth, you know, the farmers, the gardeners, the nature lovers, the tree planters, you know, we have that element. And then we have the air element that influences all of our population, right? In every nation. Your air sign people would be the good communicators and the social justice warriors and you know, the vision people and fluent communication, right? So nobody just falls into one of those boxes, right? Everybody's good. So yeah. So the thing of it is, we're all trying to exist here on this planet. And boy, for the past few years, we've been basically told that, well, we all have to go down this direction, or we all have to go in this direction, right? Or it's best if we, you know, we have to manage things this way and this way and that way. And it's just not possible. But we have to learn how to coexist. We have to. And this was a perfect storm with all this stuff that came down the pipeline. A perfect storm for division. Perfect storm. You know, we have I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. We had the virus, all right? Then we had people, you know, locked down, whatever that was in your state or wherever you are. And then we had fear with it. So we had all of this in the recipe here. We added fear, we added frustration, we added resources being removed, and so on and so forth. So this is, you know, you're stirring all this up. It's a perfect recipe for disaster, right? And too much time on our hands, right? Can't go out and hear live music, can't, you know, have gatherings or can't, whatever. No ability to blow steam off, to have affection with our loved ones or whatever the case may be. So this was a perfect storm to really drop some crazy bombs, right? Perfect storm, don't you think? Yeah, I do. But no, I keep telling you guys I'm gonna get into, you know, I'm gonna do some videos on narcissism, right? You know, there's two types of narcissists, and I'm gonna do a more in-depth one, I promise, coming up. So, and the reason I'm talking about it with my limited resources, although I've done a lot of studying, I'm not a doctor, blah, 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 okay. I see clients all week long that are being in a relationship that's a narcissistic relationship. And there's two types. There's the overt, the chest pounding, I'm so bigly, I'm so great, look at me, you know. It's that one that you hear in the parking lot if you're in a restaurant with your friends. You hear that one, blah, 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 real loud and proud. And see that personality type, you know, that's always steering the conversation back to them, around to them. You know, it's all about them. And they, you know, they have this little subconscious playbook of, well, you know, first they love bomb you, they love bomb everybody around you, everybody, oh, he's amazing, blah, 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 you know. And then little by little, they start trying to remove you from your friends, your loved ones, right? They want to remove you from that. And remove you from anyone that may be a voice of reason when they start to drop their crazy on you. All right? So there's your overts, and then you have your coverts that are what I've learned are the shy narcissist. You know, the ones that are like, they don't exert all that, look at me, you know, come in and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I did this and I did that. You know, they're a little more dangerous, the coverts are. Because they'd be like, well, if only everyone knew how amazing I was, or if my boss was. And, you know, I don't think your mother likes me. I don't want to go there anymore. And she's trying to hurt me. And this hurts families. When we have a sibling or a child or even a parent that has gotten involved with a narcissist, because everybody can see it but them at the time, because they're being love bombed. Oh, you're amazing, you're this, you're that, you know. But let me tell you about this personality type, okay? All the love bombing they're doing, okay, to suck you in, the back of their head, they're resenting. They're keeping score. And they're going to punish you. They may not know when. They're waiting to, you know, maybe they capture you in, you know, why don't you move into my house, you know? You could live here for free. Or why are you driving that old beater when I have 2 cars in the driveway? Why are you doing that? You know, they set the trap. Sometimes it's even a, you know, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. Oh, I can't get into my 401k right now, and my transmission went out, and can I borrow, you know, $2,200 from you? There's always a trap, right? There's always a trap. And then the punishment and the bad behavior begins, all right? And if you find yourself, like, becoming the detective, now take note of all this. I mean, not literally, but because this applies to what I've witnessed this week. So you know, they're acting weird, or they're love bombing you, and then they're acting cold, or they throw a little derogatory dig at you, like, yeah, that dress, you know, it's getting a little tight, isn't it, or whatever, right? Now you're hooked. Now you can't get away. Right here, you can't get away. Okay? And I'm sure there's probably there's lists of personality. You'll see it. They'll get, you know, oh, you're petting the dog. Oh, now they're making noise over here. You know, because they can't help but have to have the attention on them all the time. You're on the phone with your mama. Oh, do you want me to pick up a script? In the background, right? And it's so slow. The indoctrination is so slow, and the love bombing is so intoxicating that it's hard to see at first. And usually someone who is a victim of narcissistic abuse, or they get into this, you know, this strange connection relationship, they're usually wounded. Maybe they've gone through a loss. Maybe their mom has died, or you know, a best friend, or maybe they're a widow, and they don't, because of their wounds, they don't quite have their sea legs, right? Or they've had a bad breakup, you know. And that's when the individual is the most vulnerable, because you're not, when you're wounded, you're not seeing things straight. You're not thinking straight, right? And that's when the narcissist, they plan their attack, right? Yeah, they're, and I really think that, I don't think that this is some diabolical plot that these people, they're so bright and they make notes and they're coming in and, I think it's primal. These behaviors are primal. And they'll target something that, in gut level, they know is vulnerable. Because what they want is narcissistic supply. And they'll form triangles with people too, okay? It's not always the lover's triangle that everybody gets so worried about and everybody's so hung up on, If somebody's going to have an affair on you, kick them to the curb, whatever, It can be way more covert. It can be setting up the mom against the girlfriend, or setting up the child, right? These little triangles. So everybody's feeding them. They're filling up their narcissistic gas tank. Their narcissistic supply is constantly being fed by all these people that they put in triangles, and you're jumping and thriving and, oh, look at me, So it's not always the other girl. It can be an in-law. It can be a sibling. It can be a child, right? So that leads me to the elephant in the room. What we witnessed this past week. All right? That's narcissism. Okay? And I'm asking each and every one of you to clear your head a little bit. Clean the slate up here. And let's start observing. Let's take inventory, check our pulse, and observe if we've been gaslit. Have we been gaslit with all of this? Are you a victim of the narcissist's gaslighting? All right? Have you become the detective? Have you been looking around and looking for clues and stuff and all these little innuendos and whatever? Oof. It's not anything to be ashamed of. I know I've been gaslit, and no sooner than I put it together, I'm like, I could have kicked my own ass. I could have kicked my own butt, But let's take inventory now. Because those people were gaslit. The people in the whole circle and in the orders of, whatever, if you were a general or a colonel, or if you were a congressperson or a senator or whatever, we've been gaslit. Why do we need this one savior? Maybe it's because we've been sort of sold that, even from when we're really young. Oh, the wicked queen or the benevolent king, or, No. You know who we need? We need each other. We need each other. We need our neighbors. We need our community. We need to check on one another. Regardless of what their belief system is, we need to clear all this chatter and all of this rhetoric away and get it out of the way of our hearts Get it out of the way. And we need to start in our own little circles in our communities. And we need to start figuring out ways to support each other, co-op with one another in one way, shape, or form. Because that, what happened, 5 people are dead. Same within the summer, people died. And I may be wrong, but I can't help but believe that all of this is a result of our nation being gaslit. And usually when there's gaslight over here and, distractions over here, somebody's reaching in the cookie jar over here. You can investigate that if you want. It's in plain sight for me. But what breaks my heart is how many people are wounded. Hearts are wounded. Some physically wounded because of it. If you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship, and once you got out of it, and you had your windshield was clear and all this, take that personal and just pin it up or pin the tail on the donkey with what just transpired. Yeah, all these different people playing their roles. All these different people playing their roles. I have a loved one that I've known all my life that confessed to me this past week. He's retired. He confessed to me. I know he's embarrassed about it. I will never say who it is, and don't try to figure it out because you never will. That he had, over the past 3 years, donated $20,000 to the Democratic National Convention, or the Democratic Party, because he was gaslit. So see you guys, you thought I was gonna go this direction and scold these people and these people. Nope. 20 grand. Why? Because he allowed that side to gaslight him out of $20,000. I'm furious. I'm not furious. I'm hurt. I feel bad. And what was going on? We're all locked down. We got nothing to do. Blah, blah, blah. Many of you were working, but other than that, there's nowhere to go. This was a perfect storm for stuff like this. And those folks, they're having a good old time with us. This isn't about right or left anymore. This isn't about right or left anymore. This is about our communities and what we can do to rebuild them and to make them stronger and to take care of one another. All right. I think I see somebody saying something about, Mars went into Taurus this week. I can't see who just wrote that. Maybe it says Terry. It's amazing I can see anything at all. But yeah, Mars went into Taurus on that day. So, there was a lot of extra stuff with it, right? So, like I said, sorry I digress a little bit. If you've been in or you've had a family member that you've watched them be wounded or afflicted by the narcissistic personality. And you saw how they were dismantled little by little with the love bombing and then, you know, oh, I can't live without you, and oh, you gotta text me every 20 minutes, all of that. Compare that to what we've just observed with our nation. Gaslit. No one understands you but me. You know, we're gonna blah, blah, blah. You see what I mean? I want you to, when you're at the store, I do this naturally. My mom didn't know a stranger, so I think that's how I learned that part. When you're in the store, look people in the eye. Whether they're black or brown or Asian or white as snow, or start looking people in the eye. Tune in. Tune into that. Do you honestly think that these people feel any differently than you? Because what's all of this based on? You know? It's based on protecting the ones we love the most, right? You know, we all want the same thing. I've been saying this politely and so gently, and hint, hint, read between the lines, folks, for weeks now. We all want the same thing. We want good food that has nutritional value, not garbage that they've been dumping down on us and gearing us into eating to dumb us down. We want good food. We want water that isn't polluted with oil spills and pipelines and all this other garbage that the powers that be continue to rape the earth and create damage. Right? That's where that's where the slack goes for me. Oh, you know, these ones that are, oh, I'm going to save you and I'm going to be the one to lead you. Where are they at with that? Are they all good with raping the earth and getting their kickbacks from their donors? Then they're not your friend. And I've seen it from both sides. They're not your friend. You know, we all want the same thing. So we want to pull ourselves out of this chaos now. Let's stop investing in that now. And let's start investing in our community. How can we? You know, what can we do? How can we make our community better? Because that's what it's boiling down to now. We have been feeding way too much narcissistic supply to those folks. We've been draining our battery of precious resources and energy to invest in this. And now look, you know. Have you been able to, you know, purchase a meal from a restaurant who's being subjected to the loss with the restrictions? Have you had your dog groomed? Have you, you know, how can you, and for many of you, money, you know, is scary, right? But let's pull ourselves out of that now. I mean, it's good to keep a watchful eye, right? For a minute or two, and what's going on, because there's people getting worked up now, you know, going, well, this isn't the end of it, you know, there'll be the capitals and this and that. And it's like, all right, does that deserve your focus and your time and energy? Does it require that? Stealing it, leaking it all over? No, I think very small doses of that. All right, we have to see this as the leveling. Aquarius and Saturn will level the playing field. And like the phoenix rises from the ashes, we will. We will. They're being exposed, right? Wash your windshield. Don't take sides. Take note, both sides. Okay, let's stop this now. We will rise from the ashes. I believe it. I was a little girl when this stuff started to fire up in the 60s. 11, 12. I was old, you know, then it was 13, 14, then I was, you know, more, you know, aware and observing injustice. This is who I am, folks. I'm sorry. It's who I am. I can't change that, right? And I was old enough to be affected by it and to draw an opinion from it, okay? I was old enough for that. Unfortunately, I wasn't old enough to drive, or I probably would have driven to Chicago and been in that mess with the Democratic Convention, right? Democratic Convention riots, okay? All of that going on. Charlie Manson arises. He got those girls and his followers to do all kinds of horrible things. Because it was a vulnerable time. And we have to watch out for the Charlie Mansons in the world. Right? We sure do. Whew. So, don't be frightened. All right? Jupiter is in there helping this along. All right? Don't let your precious resources be stolen by crazy town. Okay? Start looking people in the eye at the store, you know. See that they want the same things for their children, their grandchildren, their loved ones. Observe the love and affection you see with these families. Support your community, whether it be your local restaurant, your you know, your small businesses, whatever. Support. Stay in here. Stop worrying about that out there. Don't, and how many friendships have you lost over this stuff? People that you love and that matter to you over this gaslighting. Can we repair those? I hope so. You know, I unfollowed quite a few people. Yeah, I did. Not because, sorry you guys, not because they made me mad because they didn't see things or they wouldn't see it my way. There's a couple ladies, I couldn't watch them unravel any further. People that I admired, they're bright, they have educations, or I couldn't, it was like a bad car wreck. I'm not mad at them because they believe what they believe. I'm heartbroken that whatever was going on inside of them, they needed to grab onto that based in fear. marinated in fear. You know, I unfollowed because I couldn't watch them. It's like watching somebody die of cancer. I couldn't do it. You know, down the road, I can veer back off of Barrington Road back onto I-90 with these people, but I can't watch right now. And I send them lots of love and energy with it. So, felt good to get out and walk this morning. I was late, I apologize. I got in the tub and I was kind of soaking raw hot water, and then all of a sudden I looked at the clock and went, holy smokes. And then right as I was starting my video, someone decided to call my cell phone, so I don't know what that looks like in the beginning. It doesn't matter. I got my message out. I feel good about that. It hurts me to see people hurting because narcissists in power have turned us all against one another. To have the camera on them all the time, that hurts me. So, are we good? I think I covered it the best way. I was hoping. I was, when the girls and I were walking, when I wasn't trying to slip on ice today, right? I was like, please, I was asking the universe to please let this message flow through me to comfort my friends and loved ones out there and to rejuvenate their depleted spirits. You guys, we're going to be all right. I watched it in the 60s, and then we came into the 70s, and everything was cool. As the school, people were integrating. They were, open. To other cultures, to other belief systems, and okay, there could be another Michigas here or Michigas there. You guys, eye on the prize. We got to keep our eye on the prize, and that's peace and it's unity. Okay, eye on the prize. Right, eye on the prize. All right. I think I covered it. You know what? I was so, last week I could sense this stuff coming, and my heart was so depleted from the energies I was feeling that I could barely even pull one of these off. I couldn't. I couldn't verbatim, intuitively walk myself through the hows and whys of what was going to transpire, but I felt it deeply. And then it hit, and then here we are. All right. But we got to start putting some energy back into us. All right. Keep your money for your own family. Don't be doing this. Give us money for this. We're laughing stocks. These, oh God. Yeah. Whatever you think you need to donate to this entity that you feel so compelled to support, pull that money for now and put it into your own community. Donate it to the local business. Donate some money to the local animal shelter, Noah's Ark. Donate to Miss Carly's or Rockford Rescue Mission or whatever. Let's keep this right here for now, because they're having a good old time with that. They say vote with your dollars. Isn't that what they say? Yeah. Okay, we got to reroute that. All right. So, want to be mindful. We want to make sure we're eating right, taking our vitamins. Talked about D3. I told you I'm not a doctor. Ask your doctor what they think the recommended dose is. I take between 5 and 10,000 milligrams of D3. That's your lung support. Disclaimer again, I'm not a doctor. I've just done my own research. You would probably be fine with 1,000 milligrams, all right? Make sure you're eating food that's giving you brain food, right? Supporting your immune system and your health. Get outside. I know we haven't seen the sun in, 2 weeks now? I know it doesn't help. Get outside. Move your body. All right? Get some fresh air. Be peaceful. You'll feel better. I walk every day. I couldn't walk Friday and I couldn't walk Saturday because of the weather and my schedule, right? And, you know, by last night I was losing my mind. Okay, I have overstayed my welcome this morning. I am so hoping that you guys will take what I've had to say and adopt what might work for you and what doesn't work for you, broom it, okay? Every little bit helps, okay? I forgot to tell you guys I loved you last week, and I felt real bad about it. No sooner than I shut it off, I felt bad. I was like, I didn't even say I loved you. So I'm gonna do a double I love you now, all right? I don't care what you invest in or what your belief systems are, you're still part of this community and you still matter, all right? And I love you. And love isn't contagious, so let's start sending that vibe instead of this vitriol and rhetoric. Okay, let's not partake in that. Okay. Mind, body, spirit. Whew, that was a long one. I apologize. All right, take care. I love you. See you next week, 11/11, Spiritual Pep Talk time. All right, without a doubt.